Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. In the co-captain's chair, of course, the professor himself, Ken Golden. What's happening, my friend?
Hey, we got the close-up.
Yes. Everybody gets to see us front and center here, at least for a couple minutes before we get started.
Yeah. So nothing, just getting ready for, going to try and relax over the long weekend and squeeze a little record shopping in, I'm sure.
Oh, really? You got any specific place you're going to go to?
My friend Stu's coming down. We're going to hit, I think we'll hit Princeton, and then we're going to hit some of the stores that are local to me. I have like 3 or 4 stores that are like a couple of towns over. So they're all on the same road. So we're just going straight down.
One after another, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe squeeze some good pizza in or something.
There you go. Yeah, I got to go to Princeton one of these days. I've been hearing about it for too many years, and everybody I know is gone.
Seriously, you've never been?
No.
Oh, Pete. Oh man. I mean, it's amazing to walk into first of all, it's a large store, but to walk into a record store and see so many people. And the thing is, like, their used CD collection. I mean, they have tons of new CDs, of course, and tons of vinyl, but their used CD collection, people turn stuff in. You'd be amazed what you can find. Prog, metal, jazz. That jazz stuff's unbelievable. Plus, they get tons and tons of like used DVDs. I know you have the movies, of course. There's tons of movies and Blu-rays. It's the mecca, and there's great food. You got breweries there. Oh man, you gotta go. It's not that far.
Nah, not that far at all. No, that's probably worth going. That probably should be something I do one of these days and just like stay overnight somewhere and just do the whole day and evening.
Yeah. There's a pizza place in town I've never been to. I think it's called Conti's. It's supposed to be very good. Old school. I know Portnoy loved it. Dave Portnoy, if people are paying attention.
When Dave talks, I listen.
Yeah. And so I've heard it. I heard it's very good. And like food's good and just it's fun. And
one of these days.
Anything. If you get a slow day in the summer or whatever, and they're open Sundays, take a drive down.
Day trip down,
yeah.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
How far is it from you?
45 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So you say the word, I'll meet you.
Okay. All right. Well, we may have to do that.
I've been known. They like sometimes they'll post a video on Instagram of like a haul of vinyl that they're putting out. I'll just drop everything. I'll get in the car and I'll go and like
there.
They close at I think they close at 8 or 9 o'clock. I know 7 o'clock I'm there, and I know some of the guys there. So
there you go.
Yeah,
that always helps.
You'd be amazed what they turn up. So,
cool. All right. Yeah, I'm curious now. I've always wanted to go. It's never happened.
One of the great stores in the country.
Cool.
Great plug we just gave them. So
there you go. All right. Should I add your wares to the stage here?
Let's do it. Let's run through it. All right. So a lot of nice stuff this week, and people are finally listening. They're not waiting till Friday. They're hitting it all week long. So we've been putting stuff up all week long.
As Martin Popov likes to say, we have some wise swamis that watch this channel, so they are learning. There you go. This is a restock a repress. Esoteric put this out. I think you said this was the greatest Mellotron album ever recorded. Am I wrong? If it isn't the greatest, it's top 3.
Okay. So Barclay James Harvest Live, it was originally a double album, and it was out of print for a while. Esoteric just repressed it. So next thing, also from Esoteric, got a lot of British stuff. Carmen, the albums, 1973, 1975. Carmen were an American and British band. John Glasscock was in the band. And then he moved over to Jethro Tull after this. They were kind of an interesting band. Male, female vocals, a lot of Mellotron, and a lot of flamenco guitar. So people kind of categorize them as flamenco prog. They have 3 albums: Fandangos in Space, Dancing on a Cold Wind, and The Gypsies. All here in the nice, it's one of those nice little boxes that Esoteric puts together.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good band.
Yeah. Okay, we're still waiting on the vinyl for this. This is Louise Patricia Crane, Netherworld. We were taking pre-orders on this. British singer. She's a multi-instrumentalist. She's backed by the King Crimson people. She's got Jocko on here. Tony Levin's playing bass. Mel Collins is on here. Gary Husband's on here. Best way I could describe her is like a more progressive Kate Bush or Lorena McKinnon. She's very talented. It's good stuff. And I was actually surprised at the reaction that we got for the pre-orders on it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Next thing, new one from Focus. Remember these guys?
Oh, yeah.
So Thijs van Leer and Pierre Vandelinen, I guess the only original guys, got a nice Roger Dean cover. And actually, I think it's a really nice Roger Dean cover. And what little I've heard of it, it sounds like Focus. So, it's not... They kind of
continue on with like the kind of the jazzier side of things that they've been doing the last couple albums, which I don't have an issue with. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, still good. Still good. All right. This is the one that everybody was all excited about. IQ, The Weekender. So it is a 4 CD set, 2 shows recorded in Germany, I believe, one of which is a complete performance of Dark Matter. So this is IQ has this series that they put out on their own, the Archive series, and I believe this is like Archive 14 or 15, something like that. And what generally happens with these is that they initially sell them themselves, and then they hand off copies to Giant Electric P, their label, to sell. So we had a bunch. And we still have some, and perhaps when people watch this, we still have some. I can't promise. Same thing with the Focus. They're selling incredibly well. So if they're gone, don't shoot the messenger.
There you go.
Next thing, another repress from Esoteric. Hawkwind, the GWR Records years. Got the Xenon Codex, Space Bandits, and Palace Springs albums. So again, out of print for a while. A lot of the Esoteric stuff, they tend to go out of print, and then eventually, I guess for the better titles, they do repress them from time to time. The new one from Jadis. This one's called More Questions Than Answers. Long-running British neo-prog band. Not my style, but you're based on the way it's selling already. It's the style of a lot of people who.
Yeah, they've always been pretty popular.
Yeah, they want to. Yeah, absolutely.
Always good guitar playing. I mean, it's pleasing stuff to listen to. It's not always my cup of tea either, but you can't really say anything bad about it. It's very melodic, good vocals, great guitars.
It's the kind of thing where if it was on, I'd be like, "Hey, what is this? This is pretty good." But but not a band that. Honestly, a lot of these British bands, these newer British bands, they're not the bands that I kind of reach for. I tend to gravitate towards the 70s stuff. That's kind of my bread and butter. But I'm amenable to listening to it. So especially if it's well done. French band Lazuli, Laura Live. This was recorded at the Night of the Prague Festival in Germany in 2022. Very interesting French band. Very good players. One of the guys in the band created his own instrument. It kind of looks like a Chapman stick in a sense, but it's more of a guitar sound. And he shreds on it, and it's good. The only thing I got to warn people about, it's a CD DVD set, and the DVD is PAL. So make sure you can play it, because if you can't, it ain't my problem. It's yours. So I don't want to hear from somebody, "Hey, I put it in my machine and I couldn't play it." Sorry. So I'm telling you up front. So but again, Lazuli, very popular band. So I saw them play. I believe I saw them play. I think I saw them play at Crossfest, possibly. I think so. So this is a crazy album. Norio Maeda, Rock Communication, Yagabushi. So this is a reissue. I believe it was, I'm going to say 1970, 73, early 70s. So Norio Maeda, Japanese jazz pianist, composer, arranger, and conductor. And he had a series of albums in Japan that went on for years where he would combine like big band jazz with rock, and you have Kaiushi Sugimoto playing electric guitar on here. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's like, it's like big band jazz with like, wah wah guitar, and it gets a little funky in places. And they're at the very least, they're a lot of fun to listen to. And sometimes these albums get like totally crazy, out avant-garde, like classical, but then they kind of come back to earth with like electric guitar. It's, they get guys like, Kimi Muzutani playing fuzz guitar and stuff. Pretty nutty. This is a good one. So rock communication. Next, Methuselah. You familiar with this one?
I've heard of it, but I've never heard it.
I never heard it. I still haven't heard it. I bought it on vinyl about 3-4 months ago. I still haven't played it. So it's kind of unusual. They're a British band, and it only came out in the U.S. as far as I know. It never got a British release. They made 2 albums in 1969. I think the second one went unreleased. 2 of the members later on went into Amazing Blondell, the British folk band. These guys don't really sound British at all. It's more like U.S. psychedelic, like West Coast. Maybe even a little garage. I mean, what little I did hear of it. I mean, I have to sit down and dig into it. And, it's a pretty collectible album.
I've never listened to this.
Yeah.
Maybe like the Bay Area stuff, like psych stuff from the late 60s.
Yes. And it's always fun. I always love when I see cigarettes on album covers. I don't know if I'm pointing with you can't see it, but if you look at the guy on the far left, he's got the cigarette in his hand. But jazz.
I can see it now. Yeah, I can see
jazz albums with like Elvin Jones.
All the time. Yeah.
Miles Davis. This guy always famous for having a cigarette in their hands and hanging out of their lip. All right, Nightingale, Nightfall Overture. So I think we talked about this last week.
Yep.
Because I had the vinyl, but they had bumped the street date on the CD. It's double CD. This is actually, it's a re-recording. Dan Swano re-recorded tracks from the band's first 4 albums. So it's sort of like I don't want to say greatest hits in a sense, but it's sort of like, but in a little bit. And there's a bonus disc with all live tracks. It's the music, I guess, for this stuff, I call it like progressive hard rock with like a sort of like a gothic element to it. The artwork kind of captures it, I think. So next, Palace. This is a 7-disc box set, Eyes in the Night. You get the band's first 3 studio albums, Arrive Alive, The Sentinel. You get both mixes, the U.S. and the British mix, the Eddie Offord one of The Sentinel. And you get The Wedge, and the rest of it is all live stuff, and including a live Blu-ray. And there's plenty of bonus tracks on there because they had like B-sides and stuff like that. So it's a very, very nice set. And Esoteric, when they do these boxes, man, they do a nice job.
They do.
Yeah. So if you're and they're one of the original British neo-prog bands, and I was all over the Sentinel when it came out. So Arrive Alive was not a favorite of mine. That one was a little. That to me was a little more of a hard rock album, actually. So I remember buying it. At Tower Records on 4th and Broadway. I think in the cutout bins. Return to the Earth, Stalagmite Steeple. I've made a couple of passes through. Very nice stuff. This came in on John Electric P. Definitely in the wheelhouse of anybody who's into like Pineapple Thief and Porcupine Tree. So that slightly more atmospheric sort of a sound. This is really cool. Al Stewart, Past, Present, and Future. And why I don't have it in my hands, I don't know. I should. But it's a nice box set from Esoteric. Al Stewart, I think, kind of underrated, kind of overlooked.
I would agree. He's got some pretty damn good albums.
This is one of his early ones. And I mean, the thing is, like, I guess the best way to describe Al Stewart's music is like art rock. I mean, there's a pop aspect to it, of course, like, Year of the Cat and stuff, but he does like, long tracks, 8-9 minute songs, very dramatic, and some nice playing going on there. So just so I sound a little more intelligent, Disc 1 2024 remaster bonus tracks, Disc 2 live show from 1974. Disc 3 is Past, Present, and Future, new stereo mix done by Steven Taylor. Disc 4 is Past, Present, and Future in high-res surround stereo, and again with bonus tracks. Like, this is the album that has Roads to Moscow, Nostradamus. Those are his epics. This is, I actually like stuff like Year of the Cat and Time.
Yeah, that's great.
It's great
stuff.
Now,
this is great too.
Now, Pete, would you call like Year of the Cat? And would you and Eric call that yacht rock?
I don't know. You could call it that, but it's got like more meat to it, right?
Right. But it is catchy. There's hooks, You always melodies, man. They always stick with you. This is more dramatic. This is a little more laid back. I don't want to say it. Maybe it's a little more intelligent. I don't know. But this is a classic, and it's expensive, and it's selling because people recognize it. It's great stuff. It's great. So, all right, what else we got here? We have some pirate metal here. Visions of Atlantis, Pirates 2, Armada, Clementine Delaunay, right? Jim, that was Clemmy's last name, right? And so Visions of Atlantis been around a long time. They keep going through vocalists, but Clemmy's been with them for a while now, and they're getting more and more popular. And they tour like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
The last new CD for the week, The Windmill, really good Norwegian symphonic prog band. They were on Charisma, I believe, or Apollon. One of those, those are sister labels. They were on one of those labels, and now they're on a different Norwegian label, Crime, and opens up with like a 25-minute track. Really good prog. So
great album cover, and they're from Norway, so that tells you everything right there.
You would like this album.
Yeah.
And it's very, very good. Problem is sometimes, we get so much stuff in, I try and present it in a semi-intelligent way. Sometimes I can't spend as much time with these albums. So I've made a pass through the album. I really liked it. I'm going to spend more time with it. I'm waiting for the vinyl to come in, so the vinyl's not out yet. So, in fact, I think what happened was they sold through the vinyl in advance, and they're making another pressing of it. So, but The Windmill, Mindscapes, very, very good. Next thing, we'll hit the vinyl, and then we're done. Finally, I screwed up. I forgot to mention this last week. We had the new airbag with that very sexy cover art. The century of the self. We got black vinyl, we got red vinyl, and we got red splatter vinyl. And the red splatter vinyl looks like somebody vomited up like a peppermint stick. So we've got that. We've got Focus. You get to see the Roger Dean cover blown up, and I really do like this because if you look at the artwork, it's more like, well, obviously Roger's pieces are hand painted, but it's almost like he did like pen and ink and then colored it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just working purely with a brush, maybe it's gouache or something like that. But
it's definitely different color scheme too from his normal stuff.
Yes, and it's a little more flamboyant, I think, a little more colorful. But I think it's like if you look in that lantern on the left-hand side and everything, column, it looks, it seems like there's just a little more detail than what I'm used to seeing. I like it. Rock Communication, the Norio Maeda that I mentioned. Now, this is the one cheap shit deal of the week. We got overstocks on Porcupine Tree Closure Continuation double LP. Got it for $15 now. We were selling it for like 30. So
I was going to say, I remember that being kind of pricey.
Yeah, we got offered a deal on it, and there we go. This just showed up. You know this album? Pete,
oh, yeah.
This came out on Repertoire on CD.
Yeah, different cover though, right?
No, this is the cover. Rumpelstiltskin had that comic book cover.
All right. Did they have another album? Because
they did have a second album called The Black Wizard, which I never heard.
Yeah.
It's a joint. So if you don't know it, man, I couldn't think of anything else that you would like more. So they were a group put together by the American producer Shel Talmy. And Shel Talmy, he produced like the Kinks, the Who, I mean, a million bands. And this was a studio concoction. He took some of the British studio guys, Clem Catini, Alan Hawkshaw, Herbie Flowers, Alan Parker. Those guys played on like a million albums, right? So they put it out with those guys using fictitious names. They brought in a vocalist named Peter Lee Sterling, who later on had a hit under the name Daniel Boone. You remember a song, Beautiful Sunday?
I think so.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was a hit, and he was done under the name Daniel Boone, but his real name was Peter Lee Sterling. This is like Led Zeppelin with like John Paul Jones, like turning the volume up on the organ. It's bluesy, hard rock, maybe even a bit of Atomic Rooster. You know, I know I'm saying the magic words. So, you could find the CD. It came out on Repertoire, and it's very possible that Esoteric may have done it as well. I'm not sure about that, but this is a new vinyl reissue, and from the original master tapes, and yeah, it's really good stuff. It came out in the U.S. on Bell Records.
Bell Records.
Bell Records, yeah. So out of New York, and, yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Was there another band that had a similar type name?
There was a Rumpelstiltskin Commune.
That's who I'm thinking of.
That was a Swiss prog rock band.
Yes, they were great, by the way.
Yeah, you want to put this on your Discogs want list.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. All right, I'll investigate. And this is the first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard the second one. I think the second one only came out in Germany. It's called like maybe the Black Magician.
Yeah. Yeah, Repertoire Records, 1991.
Expensive?
I don't know. I'm checking right now. Let's see. Guy in Germany selling it for 20 euros or whatever the hell it is.
I'll say I may have it hanging on the wall. So go listen to it. I think it's right in your wheelhouse. So it's definitely got the Led Zeppelin vibe.
Okay. Well, I'm intrigued. So
that means you're 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah. It's terrible. This curse is bad. There's you can get copies, but they're in like Greece and Italy and Germany.
Yeah, I'll see it if I have it. I'll look at it. So
cool.
That's what I got this week.
All right, we're back close again. So, yes, no, too close. We'll have these, of course, listed down below in the comments.
Wait. I'm going to interrupt you. There's one other thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, and I'll make it real brief. Could we jump back to the slides?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I kind of forgot. So one thing that this was Jim had suggested. We had all the Garden of Delight stuff last week, and I just sort of did like a greatest hits kind of a thing. A lot of that sold really well, but I just wanted to mention that some really great stuff got overlooked that is not selling and they're phenomenal albums. So I'm just going to flash through them and just telling you guys, you got to hit this stuff. I didn't even talk about this. Ronnie Stoll. I'm so hung up on Rumpelstiltskin. One week I'm going to get it perfect, but this is not the week. So yeah, this is first time on vinyl for Ronnie Stoll, The Flower King on Red Vinyl. But yeah, I wanted to mention on Garden Delights some of the Embryo stuff. These are the albums like with Charlie Mariano. These are great jazz rock albums. And you guys really should explore this band. Epidermis. This is the band that sounded like Gentle Giant, the German band. This was an unreleased first album. Released Music Orchestra. We have 2 live albums, archival live albums, fantastic quality. They were a great band, jazz rock band with a touch of funk. No guitar, but just like treacherous mini moog, constant and a lot of soprano sax. Really great stuff. And then the other one, Sunbirds. There were 2 Sunbirds albums, and the first one selling really well. The second one's really good, and it's people aren't paying attention to it. It's got Ron Carter on bass, and Klaus Squeeze, the great German jazz drummer, Fritz Power on Fender Rhodes and organ, and there's lots of flute. There's guitar, of course. So anyway, I just wanted to point these out that, people aren't paying attention to them. They should.
Yeah, both those Sunbirds albums are really good.
Yeah, and I love Release Music Orchestra, and I love Embryo, and I was just surprised that people weren't hitting them. So I wanted to mention them again. Anyway, that's it. Sorry.
Could be because you had a lot of Embryo titles up. Maybe that's why.
I had a lot of Embryo, so maybe people were picking and choosing, and and there was a lot of Garden Delight stuff. And we still have pretty good inventory on this stuff. I went crazy on it. So
cool.
Anyway,
so we'll have all these pinned below and listed for you guys to copy and paste if you'd like. And of course, lasercd.com will be the URL as always. And we'll see you here next week for another edition of the Professor's Picks.
Yes, we will.
And
I'm going to get it right.
The tagline, you get that right.
Buy a lot, buy often. That I'll always get right.
That you'll always get right. Yeah, that's not too hard to forget.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, everybody. Speaking of jazz rock and stuff, don't forget we've got 4 Fusion Friday happening tonight. So stay tuned for that. We've got Louis Nasser is joining the 3 of us. So we've got some cool albums we're going to talk to you guys about. So that'll be happening this evening. And then tomorrow, of course, is the review crew with Jamie Laszlo and a brand new crew once again. And then Sunday, Grant Arthur and I will be ranking the studio albums, the solo albums of Dennis DeYoung from formerly of Sting. So that's coming up on Sunday. So lots happening here on the channel. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. There's the ding. The orders are coming in. We're not even on live with this yet. Jesus.
That's right. But they know. They're clairvoyant.
So thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy your long weekend for folks here in the States. And we'll see you next week here for Ken Golden. I'm Pete Pardo. Take care. See you soon.
Take care. I think the room is bugged.
Yeah.